how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. Let me add here. See if other few folks will be joining. All right. Well, y'all, it's Thursday. Here we are. It is that day. And I wanted to hop on and share with you all some work that I am doing and share a little bit about my story, about why I'm creating this program for Latinx, Chicanx, Latino, Latina, Latine, Chicano, Chicana, well, I don't think we say that, but, I wanted to let folks know that if you identify as Latinx, Chicano, I'm working on a program right now specifically for you. What's up, Ray? Thanks for joining. And this program that I am working on is called Confronting Anti-Blackness. And, there's been a lot of conversation, obviously, with all of the uprising that's going on in defense of Black lives, about anti-Blackness. We keep hearing different messages, especially from, our media sources, especially Spanish-speaking media like Telemundo, Univision, continuing to say, things that are very much against Black people, as well as against protesting. There's a lot of commentary, and this is creating a lot of conversation right now in our community. And although, the protests that we saw about a month ago and the upswell of that is not as heated in the streets, there's still a lot of movement. There's still a lot of things that are going on in the community. And honestly, the reason why I'm talking about this with you today is because it's long overdue for us. As Latinx, Chicanx folks, it's really important for us to understand how our identity plays into a conversation related to race, related to white supremacy, related to anti-Blackness. So for folks who don't know what anti-Blackness means, just to define it for us, for our conversation today, anti-Blackness, as defined by Black scholars, is the disdain, degradation of Black life. So essentially, it is a sentiment, it is an ideology that is perpetuated then through our cultures, through our structures, through our systems, through our organizations, our institutions that do not allow Black people to thrive and to experience the fullness of their dignity. And this is real, right? I don't have to break it down for you too much. we can see even just with the pandemic that we are still in with COVID, that overwhelmingly the Black population is dying from COVID, as well as many brown folks from our community are also dying. And that has a lot to do with structural inequities like poverty. A lot of that has to do with, the fact that many of us are frontline workers and constantly put at risk every day to this virus of COVID, and are navigating all of that. And so I'm not gonna spend a ton of time trying to lecture right now, but I wanted to hop on here and I wanted to let you know that if you are having these moments where you're like, what am I supposed to do right now? What is my role? There's a lot happening, yes, for Black Lives Matter, and I care about that. And also, I also care a lot about the fact that deportation is still happening. I care a lot about the fact that my family are frontline workers and they're constantly exposed to COVID. I care a lot about the fact that there are still issues happening here in our Latino community, and I don't understand how do I show up and demonstrate leadership around Black Lives Matter, around the movement for Black lives, and how do I also call attention to what is going on for my community and my people. And the reality is, like, look, here's a lesson that I just want to share, some wisdom, is that what's difficult about race in the United States is that it is set up in a particular way, so we are divided from each other, that we are constantly pitted against one another, to have like un choque, no? To be in conflict, to be divided. And in that lack of unity and in that division, that actually allows systems like capitalism, systems like white supremacy, all the systems that we're fighting against to keep our families together, from seeing that there's actual deep solidarity and that there's actually deep ties to who we are and where we came from as a people. So, I just wanted to start with that because I'm creating this program for Latinx, Chicanx identifying folks on confronting anti-Blackness, and it's a space for us who identify with that cultura, with all the culturas in that cultura, to come together and to have some really deep conversations around race, racism, white supremacy, and how anti-Blackness shows up in our thoughts, in our culture, in our family, in our community, in how sometimes we respond to these moments. And, at the end of the day, all systems of oppression are intended to dehumanize us. All of them. That is their goal. Although we created them as humans, at the end of the day, what they do is dehumanize us. And part of why I do this work through Celestial Alegría is because I'm interested in working with people who want to restore our humanity, who want to feel the fullness of our dignity, the orgullo, of like who we are, and celebrate the fact that we are still here, as well as call attention to the things that are trying to take away our lives, our communities, and peace from our family. And so the other piece I just really wanted to share with you, like I said in the beginning, is not just what this program is about. This program is a 10-week program that will launch the week of July 13th. And it will go all the way through September with a group of 20 people coming together every week working on content that allows us to have those deeper individual reflections, but also in community. Because I really believe we can do a lot of work on our own. Like, there's so many resources already on social media that you can go and put together, and you can go read them. You can go watch those documentaries. But at the end of the day, part of our learning is also being in conversation with others who are doing the same kind of reflection. And that's why I'm creating this space, because it's so difficult to try to learn something by ourselves. When we're in community, we have more capacity to lean into curiosity, to have a dialogue, a discussion, and explore, what are other perspectives? And I know for me that when I hear other perspectives, that definitely shifts a lot of times how I'm able to absorb, right? Like new information. So this program, right, it's 10 weeks, and it will include a space for us to gather as a community to really digest this content, as well as resources that I'm preparing for every person who's interested in participating in this, with a video that goes deeper into the content that we will discuss, as well as handouts with resources for you, as well as reflection questions to really think about, like, what am I learning? What am I unlearning? What's hard about this? what's exciting about this? And so I share all of this with you because this has been a constant conversation, right? Coming up in our community. And many times we shy away and we don't say anything about it. We don't know how to talk about it. And, that's real. That is super real. And for me, I just want to share a story, right? I want to share a story about my experience around confronting anti-Blackness and really, really wrestling with this. When I was an organizer with UNE, I had the opportunity to be in this setting through like a community foundation, but that's like not really the point. But I was in this setting, what's up, Mandy, where I was able to think about a time when I had othered someone else. And I was like, okay, this is an important question. When have I othered someone else? I was like really sitting with that. Because as a queer Chicana, there's not a lot of times where I feel like I'm leveraging my oppression to like other people, but I still have privileges. I'm a middle class woman. I'm college educated. Those are privileges. There's a lot of other things I could say in this. And so I was really trying to dig in. And the exchange that came to mind was this time where one of my comrades, who was a Black organizer, what's up, Maya? Good to see you. A Black organizer, that we were having a really hard time working together. We were having an extremely hard time working together and communicating in a way where we could actually meet each other. And every time we would communicate, it was just difficult, man. It was difficult. And I share this story. Eventually, we were able to work through that communication. We were able to grow. We were able to figure things out. But I share this story because part of what I had to really reflect on is, why was it so hard? Why was it so hard for us to meet each other and to have a relationship? Why was it so hard for me to be in solidarity with this organizer who I cared a lot about? Why was it so difficult? And what I realized, right, is that my own stuff of both my identities that are privileged and my identities that are oppressed were showing up in ways that were reacting to trauma that had nothing to do with this person. And so at the end of the day, I was showing up in a way that wasn't even giving this person a chance to actually be in a trusted relationship with me. And that I was othering this person. And instead of taking responsibility for that, I was pretending like I was the one being othered. Now, relationships are mutual, Relationships are mutual. There's work to do there. We figured it out. We have a great relationship now. But my point in that is I began to start really learning about anti-Blackness. Because I had to really call myself in. Is the reason why I'm not giving this organizer an opportunity because of their race? Is it because of prejudices that I have learned from messages from our society, from my own family, from growing up, right? As a Chicana, as a Tejana. I had to ask myself these questions, and it was difficult. And it's still something, right, that I have to continue to navigate. There are many things that I learned about myself in that process, but I share this story with you because not all of us have the time or the capacity to really pause and think about deeply our relationships with people in that regard. And it's not because we don't care. It's because we are literally out here trying to survive and do so much that there's not the space. And part of why I'm creating this program of Confronting Anti-Blackness for Latinx and Chicanx identifying folks is to create that space for us to really assess for ourselves, am I in relationship, deep, meaningful relationship with Black siblings in my community? Many of our gente are not. The majority of our gente are not. Because we were taught to fear Black folks. We were taught that Black folks are bad. We were taught that even amongst us, the darker you are, the farther you are away from what is good. And we have these nicknames and terms and these things that we throw at each other casually without really considering how we are perpetuating this deeper ideology that is a disdain and degradation for Black life. And the other thing that I want to share with you all, and just be very, very blatantly honest about why am I creating this program. There's two things. This part is because I want to live in a future and in a reality now where all the Black folks that I'm in relationship with can live free and full of joy and without fear. That nothing can take away their dignity, including me. And I want this because as someone who wants to have children in the future and is with a partner who is Afro-Latino, who is Black in this world, if we are to have children, I want to ensure that I am doing everything to uphold the sacredness of those future generations, and that they live in a world and that they live in a place and in a culture that celebrates their dignity and fullness every single day. Because that is not the reality right now. And we as Latinx, Chicanx folks, we have a part in that. We have a part in that. We have things that we're suffering with too. I hear you, because I hear that question coming up. But the same reasons why we have those wrestlings are part of the systems that we are upholding to ensure that Black folks are more oppressed than us. And I want something more. You know, I keep thinking about this quote from Grace Lee Boggs. We have to reimagine everything. We have to reimagine it. I know you've been seeing these different memes and tweets and all these things, what up, B? That are out here saying, can you imagine what it would be like to tell future generations, for them to ask the question, what is the police? Can you imagine baby saying, what is ICE? And I'm not talking about, the stuff in the freezer. What was detention? What was prison? What was deportation? To imagine that we could actually have communities and families that are always whole. That our children and other future generations would know that all the time. And, I say this because if we are going to create it, we have to start manifesting that right now. We have to start manifesting all of that right now. And so it begins, one of the organizing principles that I'm using to guide this program is that the first revolution is internal. It took me being disrupted to really think about, how am I othering this Black organizer? How am I doing it? Because I was doing it and taking responsibility for the impact that I had with my choices, where I decided to be in closer proximity to whiteness instead of being in greater solidarity and relationship with this Black sibling. And we deserve more. We deserve better. And it's not just that instance with that organizer, but that is what we deserve all the time. How can I say that I want to have children with my partner if I'm not willing to confront the messages and the things that are holding me back? And I know that's not necessarily, the vision of every person who is tuning in to watch this. But as we continue to grow and we continue to be, it should not be a worry. It should not be a worry for our Black siblings to live free. It should just be the way that the world is. And the third piece of why this is so crucial is because I have to do this work for myself. If I'm going to be accountable to the movement for Black liberation as a Chicanita, I have to do this work. And we have to do this work together. Because there's a lot of things in our minds that have been colonized, that we have accepted as infallible truths, that we take hold of because it allows us to have more privilege as brown folks. And some of us ain't that brown. And sometimes we say that we're brown, but a lot of times we don't act like we're brown because it's not convenient. And there is an agenda in this country since Columbus literally came and got lost here for us to become white. And so that's my invitation to you all. It's for us to understand that, not be confused. Not be confused in these moments of, what do I say? What do I do? How do I talk about this? But actually come together as a community and be equipped with tools so we can understand not just how to talk about this, but how to confront anti-Blackness that is holding back our liberation, holding back our freedom. What up, Nettie? We gotta come together and do that work. I could go and read all the books. I could watch all the documentaries. I could have all the journals filled with a beautiful reflection. But if I am not sharing this with my community and having the courage to make mistakes with others who want to grow in this way of confronting anti-Blackness, then what am I doing? If I am not building relationships in deep solidarity, in deep dignity with my Black siblings, and putting into action all of these things that I am learning, including the moments when I make mistakes and take responsibility for that, then what am I doing? What am I really doing? And I say the I, right? Because I've been there. I've been asking myself that question. Those questions. And there's only so much we can do alone. But together, we can do so much more. You know, we have this dicho in Spanish. La unión hace la fuerza. Unity creates the strength. And we need to come together and fortify ourselves to show up and show out every day, all the time, until we get free. Until we get free. Until we have a world where our Black siblings can live in the fullness of their glory and sacredness and dignity. Because when they are free, we will be free. When there is no more police, there is no more ICE. When there is no more incarceration, there is no more deportation. It is all interlinked. And we've been told too long that we are too different to see past that. And I know some of y'all on here are like, yes, I believe in this. Great. And what action can we take together to do something about it? My invitation for you is to participate with me in this program that I'm creating for Latinx, Chicanx folks. If you don't identify that way, that is okay. There's another way you can participate, and I'm about to say how you can do that. But for the folks that are on here, the folks that are watching that do identify as Latinx and Chicanx, I'm speaking to you right now. I'm offering you an invitation to join a community who is interested in doing this work, to go deep with each other and be honest about the things that we have learned that are holding us back, the things that we have learned that cause us to uphold white supremacy, the things that we have learned to perpetuate anti-Blackness. And this is one way to do the work. And it starts very soon. This program will start, it's a 10-week program. It starts the week of July 13th. And if you are interested, I invite you to please sign up for a free call with me. Go to www.celestialalegria.com/free call. All right? Go to my website /free call and sign up to have a conversation with me. It's 30 minutes of your time. So we can talk about together your interest in this work. I can share with you more of the details of this program, the community that you have the opportunity of being a part of between now and September. So that way we can take action together. And the other aspect, and this is for the folks, right, who do not identify as Latinx and Chicanx, and this is also for the folks who may not have the full capacity to commit, right, to the program right now, but you want to take action, you want to contribute to something. Because I see you too. And I honestly believe that although we have to do this internal work in order to shift our reality to become the world that we really want, where Black liberation is not just a well wish, but a reality, that we have to also take action. Because it's not like our Black siblings' life goes on pause while we enter this program. They're still out there leading amazing, incredible work, still out there creating art, still out there doing so many things for our community that benefit all of us. And so the other aspect of this program is that this program cost me $5,000 to run it for 20 people. That means the cost of the program is a sliding scale between $250 and $500. But if money is an issue, please do not let that hold you back. Still sign up for that free call. Reach out to me. the other aspect of this is that, like I said, our Black siblings, their life does not stop because we're doing our work. And so in conjunction with this program, I'm launching a reparations network where I'm raising $5,000 to match the cost of this program so we can reinvest that money through reparations into our community. I have been in conversations with white allies. I've been in conversations with folks with more access to wealth to support the start of this. I have already raised $1,000, but every single amount counts. A lot of $5 can add up a lot. And each week, as we go through this 10-week program, a Black leader, artist, or a Black-led organization will receive $500 of reparations. $500 of reparations as an action of solidarity. And for the folks who are participating in the cohort, there's no additional cost to you. That's not coming out of your pocket because I'm working to organize money so our Black community, some members of it continue to be sustained. Some organizations continue to be sustained as we do our work. So that's it, y'all. That's what's happening. If you're interested in connecting with the reparations network aspect of it as well, and you're not a Latinx or Chicanx person and can't participate in the program because of that, sign up as well for that free call. Sign up for that free call. It's 30 minutes of your time for us to have a conversation and co-conspire together about how we are going to redistribute wealth into our community. Wealth, yes, monetarily, but also of knowledge to be better equipped to build the world that we need for Black life to be fully sacred. Right now, not 50 years from now, not 100 years from now, but start acting on that right now. And so this is my invitation to you all. Again, if you are interested in signing up for the Confronting Anti-Blackness program, sign up for a call with me at www.celestialalegria.com/free call. And if you're interested in participating and contributing any amount to the reparations network to support it, I'm raising that $5,000. You can Venmo me at Celeste, and that's not my name, but Celeste.Martinez-129, or you can pay whatever amount at PayPal, paypal.me/celestialalegria. All right? That's one way that you can contribute. Again, like Bianca's saying here, if you're interested in co-creation and you're like, yo, I want to get in on this reparations network in a deeper way, or I know like other people who could really benefit from this program right now, who want to do this work, who are asking these questions, probably they reached out to you and are like, hey, what do I do about this? How do I take action? Here's one way to do it. Here's one way to do it. All right, friends. I appreciate y'all. And know that I'm going to be continuing to share more information on how you can be involved in both the Confronting Anti-Blackness program as well as the Reparations Network. And I hope to see my calendar blow up with appointments from you. The last day to register for the Confronting Anti-Blackness program for Latinx and Chicanx folks for this cohort of 20 people will be Monday, July 13th at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. the registration will be closed. So before we get to that time, sign up for that call with me. www.celestialalegria.com/free call. You have nothing to lose. you have everything to gain. And what we have to gain is our liberation. So let's make it happen. Let's get free. Love y'all. Peace.